Won't you take me back to Tennessee?
The award-winning Tennessee WildCast is on the air with the latest info about hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. This episode is brought to you by GSM Outdoors, whose vision is to preserve the sportsman's legacy, fuel innovation, and enable the next generation of outdoor enthusiasts. Think outside. That's where you'll find us. Now, make welcome your host, Jason Harmon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee WildCast. We're glad you're tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We have an awesome show lined up for you today, a series of shows here from the Sawbriar, and Mr. Don King is helping me co-host today.
Yes, Jason, and thanks to Chris Hennessy for opening us up with his unique musical style and from kind of your neck of the woods, right? Meigs County. And so, hey, we're all Tennessee today.
All Tennessee. I tell you what, this event that we're at today is called Feather to Fork, and it's being held here at the Sawbriar. And we're near Jamestown, Tennessee.
Yes, yep.
It's going to be a fun conversation. We're going to do a few shows while we're here, but today, for this show, we have Mr. John Bush. He's the Director of Schools for the York Institute. And we have Miss Gabriela Meadows. She's a junior at the school, and we're going to...
representing the student body here.
Yes, for sure. And we're going to dive into a little bit about the school today. That's going to be the big focus of this show. And then we're going to dive into the program that's going on, and it's just going to be a fun time. So thank you guys for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited to dive in and learn more. And we'll just jump in and get started with a little bit about you guys. So, John Bush, Director of Schools, tell us a little about yourself and how you ended up at York Institute.
Well, this is my 28th year in education. I will say this before we get going, though. If I'd known you was from Meigs County, I don't even know if I'd have sat down with you. Y'all whipped our tail in football, I think, week 4. And so, I'm still, I'm a, terrible loser and a worse winner. So, but anyhow, I'm here, so we'll make the best of it.
Well, I will plug my nephew is on that team, and I believe he's a sophomore.
Yeah, they took it to us. We went through the semifinals in 2A the last 3 years. So nobody in 2A or anybody under 4A would play us in our non-region games. So we got the blessing of playing, I believe, 5 4A schools this year. And so,
wow. Yeah,
when you're one of the smaller 2A schools, the field tilted when those boys come out on it, and I was like, on that. But anyhow, we're not here to talk about, all of my poor troubles. But anyhow, no, this is my 28th year in education. This is my 22nd year in administration. I grew up in Manchester down in Coffee County, and I went through the ranks as a substitute teacher all the way up to the principal at Coffee County Central, and then had opportunity to go work with a friend in Marshall County and at Marshall County High School in Lewisburg, Tennessee, and I was principal there for 8 years, and then the last 5, I have been the Director of Schools at Alvin C. York Agricultural Institute, and so which commonly we refer to as York or York Institute. But anyhow, so this is by far being the most fulfilling job in my educational career. I tell people it's the first time in my career where I feel like I'm not in a stall, and with a rock on my head.
Yeah.
We're able to get out and we're able to experiment. We're able to do things with our students and providing opportunities for them, and they are absolutely flourishing. So that's awesome. Just a little bit about me and what the path I took to get to York. And so, but I told them when I interviewed if I was blessed enough to have a job that I'd retire here. And if our girls marry a couple of jokers from here, we're gonna have to buy plots here. So and that's where they're gonna plant us. So anyhow, but yeah.
Well, no doubt you've made a huge impact in your career throughout your time in Coffee County and moving through. But, I know we're going to dive more into the school today. Yeah. But like you said, this school offers a lot of opportunities for kids outside of just the normal education that you'd receive.
Absolutely.
You can see that in the eyes of the students as they arrive today, coming on the property and looking around. And man, not many students get the opportunities that they've had just today.
That's right.
I mean, today
That's right.
alone out
That's
there.
right. That's right.
It's amazing.
Well, I mean, so every student who's in a CTE class has the opportunity to stay out here for nearly 3 hours today and go to all these different booths and vendors. And they're actually seeing what their colleagues, their peers, their friends, the work that they've been putting in for literally a calendar year, and as you can see, the engagement out there, they're not sitting around, they're not just huddled up on their phones, they're moving around, they're going to all these different vendors, and man, they're out there, shooting skeet, and fly casting, fishing down at the pond, working a backhoe. I mean, where else do you get to
flying
do that?
drones?
How did I forget that? Flying drones.
There's a backhoe out there. I need to get on that thing.
Man. I mean, I tell people it's like they say, "What is Feather Fork?" And I say, "Man, best thing I can tell you, it's like a county fair for all things ag and outdoors." That's the best way I know to sum
That is
it
a
up.
good way to describe it. Yeah.
I like that. That's why we're here. The TWRA is here today. We have a booth and showing the kids how to cast and learn about animals and out helping with the hunts and
Our
things.
fisheries guys are frying
I was about to say,
fish.
technically, y'all have two booths here.
We're going to come back and revisit some of these things we're talking about. But I want to dive over here to Gabriela. Thank you for coming on.
Of course.
You're a junior, correct?
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about what you're involved in with the school and what you enjoy to do.
I'm involved in volleyball. This is my third year playing. It's just crazy to see the growth just from my freshman year to now junior year. We came in first in the district.
Awesome.
And then we were also first in the district in like the actual game. And we went to region. We came a little short, but we got there. So
Got there. Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
then I'm involved in FCS, which is like it's called what is it?
Fellowship of Christian
Fellowship of
Students.
Students instead of
yes.
athletes. So anybody's
Yes.
welcome, I guess.
And they changed. The students wanted to change the name of it because those are. Well, you tell them, Gabrielle. You part of the decision making.
Yeah,
Go
we
ahead.
got to change it because we didn't want just people that were athletes to feel like, other people that weren't athletes that couldn't come and learn about Jesus and God. That's not what we wanted. We wanted to just be more inclusive. But every Tuesday morning at 7:30, we get to go into Miss Wright's room and just hear different speakers. Mr. Bush was one of the speakers, and
Before contract time, we want to make sure that.
he was, and then Coach Shoat and Coach Monday and so many other people. And it's just a really nice time to just fellowship with other students and just get to learn about Jesus.
Yeah.
And then I'm also involved in FFA, which is with Mr. Wright and Sam, and it's just a really good time. I've got to go with Mr. Bush's daughter to state convention in Gatlinburg last year. That was a really great experience. We got to go to a bunch of different sessions and just have a really good time. And then we get to go up to the farm, whether it's for a CT class or just FFA in general. We got to catch the pheasants last night, and it's just a really good time.
So let's transition right there. So you play a big part in what's going on
Yes.
today. So what's been your role today? Catching birds and making sure.
None of that.
Okay. No, tell us what your role is today.
Well, today I got here at 6:30, and I just did what Mr. Wright told me to do, which I helped set up all the
I did the
vendors.
same thing. Whatever Miss Wright says.
I got to help set up the vendors, and we got to drive around on the side-by-side a little bit. Just helping wherever I can is what I'm trying to do.
I got you.
An
Okay.
event like this just doesn't happen because
No.
somebody snaps their fingers, does it?
It's been a year-long
amazing.
preparation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we've
Hey,
been here. What, Gabrielle? When did you get here? 4:30.
6:30. There's
6:30.
other people that were here earlier setting the field
Setting the
when
fields with the birds
when they're
and stuff,
hunting. Yes.
Yeah.
you mentioned something about catching the birds.
Yes, we did that last night around like
Now,
5 or 6.
How do you go about catching the birds?
I've heard people just pin them down and grab them and hope for the best.
So my youngest daughter, Serena, is a senior, and now she's like, 5? She says she's 5'2". Biggest liar in the world. She's 5 foot and a quarter inch, but anyhow, that quarter inch matters. But anyhow, she has been raised, she's like Ellie Mae Clampett and, and her critters, so she's one of the ones. And some of the guys were telling me whenever they were, Sam and Mr. Delk, one of our our electrician at school is like, man, she's just like in there on her hands and knees. She just reach up and grab them because they flush when
Oh,
you
yeah,
try to get 'em.
right. Yeah.
He says she just grabbing them out of the air 2 at a time, and so yeah, she's petite, but she go bear hunting with switch, so but yeah, that's how you do it, man. You just got to get in there amongst them. Hey, the ones that were catching them, they're all scratched up, look like they'd been in a knife fight, and so but there's not a different way,
Well, that's a perfect transition to how the school is involved with this Feather to Fork. Let's just get into Feather to Fork right now, and we'll come back to what all the school has to offer for kids. But so you guys raise these birds that are being hunted today on the farm, right?
Yes, sir.
So dive into how all that got started and how that became true.
Here's what happened. Sam's first year's farm at Sam Brown. He's our farm manager and CTE director. I think y'all are going to speak to him and later today.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get him in here.
Yeah, we definitely need to get him and Marissa right. We were Sam's first year as the farm manager, which was my second year, and we were sitting around, talking about what can we do, and then one of our graduation coaches, Leslie Moody, which is Fred and Rhonda's sister-in-law.
Okay, yeah.
And so she was saying something about that Fred had the Sawbriar and that, the hunting, bird hunting, and that he, and then I was just like, instantly I had the idea, and I said, we need to raise his birds for him.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing: these folks come, they expect birds that look beautiful, and they're going to flush, and so. I appreciate Fred just was like, I can't just turn that over to you, John. And I said, I can raise a bird that'll flush. But anyhow, here's where he come back. And this was, I thought, even better. Him and Rhonda come to me and they set up a meeting. They said, we can't just turn that over to you. But here's what we think we can do. And that's where, and really, the idea of Feather Fork was born out of Rhonda and Fred. Notice I said Rhonda first. She's the brains of this outfit. I figured that out. But anyhow, seriously, that's where it come because, Fred is a alumni of York Institute.
Right.
And he was just like, I've watched what y'all been doing the last year, in your tenure, and we feel like we've wanted to be part of the school and to give back to it, and we feel like now's the time, and we got there's a focus and an energy we want to be part of, and so that's really where it came from. It was, we had a big idea that we was going to be his, bird producer. That didn't happen, but something better came out of it, and that was Feather to Fork, and so it's just. Our kids, we get the pheasants, they order them from a hatchery, and then they show up in the mail as day-old chicks, and y'all take them from there and tell them what you do with them, Gabriela.
We just get to take them up to the farm and feed them and water them every day, just take care of them. Even just the preparation for just where they're going to be, we had to take some shears and go in there and cut all these big plants, but it was just preparation for it, just to have this. It's
So
a year-long preparation.
Created the pens and
Yes.
best predator proof and things
yeah,
like
of course.
that. Very cool. So you're learning a lot there.
Yeah.
They did every bit of it, man. They, like you said, the predator fence that goes at the base of the fence, putting the 6-foot, bird fence up, and then the aviary, net over the top of it, setting the post. I mean, the students do everything. All the cross fencing with our cattle farm, and the irrigation, the water, the padlocks. The students do all that.
Wow.
They do the work.
Huh.
It's like, here's what I have found to be, and I would say this is my definition of what schools have been to. Tragically, in America, it's a place where young people come and watch old people work, and we flip that script. So, York Institute's a place where young people come, work their tails off side by side with adults who are working their tails off.
Yeah.
Who guide them through.
That's it. That's it. They're just a guide and kind of, it's the simple, it's tried and true teaching method. I do, we do, you do. And that's how it is. And so,
well, that's what makes York Institute stand apart, I think, from other schools. Tell us about some of the other hands-on opportunities and things that the kids get to do through programs there at York.
what are some things you get to do, Gabrielle? We'll start there.
I get to go up to the farm. Any opportunity for a sport, I have it. So there's so many opportunities to really get involved in anything. There's so many clubs, there's so many sports, and just It doesn't even have to be a club or a sport. Just go to a football game, go to a basketball game. There's so many ways you can just be involved for school.
Yeah.
School spirit.
Yes.
I would say probably, I'm going to guess that raising these birds is probably, well, anything agriculture. You don't see this at schools very much. I mean, but outside of the ag side of things, what's something that stands out that you think, wow, I can't believe I get to do this?
I just can't believe I get to be a part of just the school and just everything about it. Just like the sportsmanship and then just York Institute, like, spirit.
Yeah, cool.
I'll tell you something about, what I think is really stands out is whatever these students, every time we've added something. So she talked to you about, her when she was a freshman. That was only the second year of the program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so they have gone to region every year, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 4 years they've gone to region. All right. We had we only had our first year we started. She was in 8th grade. Only 2 students had ever played organized volleyball. Now we played, Joe's barbecue in the backyard volleyball, which is very different, by the way.
Yeah.
And so anyhow, but they'd never played. 2 girls had played before. Man, not only we win the district, we never played before. We got swept in our first match, and I was like, this is what's going to happen, folks. And then they quit losing, and then
Never look back.
And I was like, okay, this is not happening. And then they make it to the district tournament, and then the team to beat is actually our in-county rival, Clark Range. They beat us in both matches in the regular season. Then we meet them in the championship. I mean, it's like a TV movie, man. It's like a script. You couldn't have wrote this better. And so they sweep us 3-0 in the first match at their place. Then we play at our place. We take them to five sets. And in the 5th set, we get beat by 2 points. And then I'm like, we're going to win. I'm like, I think I'm Joe Willie Namath. I'm like, I guarantee you we're going to win. And then that district championship game, we beat them 3-1,
Wow.
3 sets to 1. And I was just like, you got to be kidding me. Then we go on, and I'm like, hey, this is just awesome. I'm like, we're going to go play a region game. We're going to be sent home, and we're all going to be thrilled. We're going to win the region. Then we go to Chattanooga in sub-state, or sectionals now. And then we actually won one match there, and I was like, good gosh. And so then we were like, I think we were playing a team in Chattanooga, I think, but anyhow, and then we learned what, big girl volleyball was, but anyhow, but if we'd won that, we'd go in the state tournament. The first year we ever had that.
Wow.
So I tell you that, and then we added tennis last year, and literally not one kid on the team had ever even held a racket before. We messed around, win region.
Wow.
Our boys won region. And we had one girl that went to region, singles. I mean, but it's just like, that's the grit. That's what we have at York Institute. Like, when I tell you I'll take my kids anywhere, I'm telling you, I mean it. It doesn't. I tell you what, if we had a checkers team, it would be full contact, and if they don't like to lose, and so, but like Gabriela said, man, it's just like but there's still sportsmanship. We can lose with class. We don't like it, though. I mean, here's the thing. Sportsmanship allows for you to not like losing, but how you carry yourself and you conduct yourself. And they act like young men and young ladies whenever they represent their families, our school and community with dignity and with class. And I can't say enough about our students. I love them. I love our community, and I love this school.
I think that's displayed out here. I've seen, top-notch kids. out here
Yeah,
today, so,
exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Well, let's transition a little bit on the background of the school. It was Mr. York's legacy, right?
Yes.
And he founded the school, or it was what he was founded on.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about that history. You were telling us before the show started.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. So it was in 1926 is when the school was founded, and he actually founded it as a private school. And then, just like most folks, in 37, that's the depths of the Great Depression. The school was, teetering on, bankruptcy like most things that were private entities were. And so Sergeant York was able to, negotiate with the state legislature for them to take the school, take ownership and oversight of the school, and basically told him, if you'll do this and run it in perpetuity, I'll give you the property, all the assets, everything. I'll turn it all over to the state. But that was the contingency that it be ran in perpetuity, under the oversight of the, state government. And so we became a state special school in 1937 and have continued to be so. So we don't have a school board.
That makes you totally unique, right, in the nation?
Absolutely. We are the only comprehensive high school that is directly operated by a state department of education. Now, you've got your achievement school districts, which are a little different, bird than, no pun for feathered fork. Yeah. But anyhow, so we're the only one so we're unique in that. We're also unique in that we're the largest high school campus in America by acreage. I'm told third largest in the world. I don't know that for a fact, but anyhow, now there's a high school on the campus of Berry College, which that's the largest, college campus, and so they try to claim. I mean, come on.
You can't mix them.
Child, please. I mean, come on. You got to you're on the front porch of a college. Come get that junk out of here. But anyhow, like I said, I'm competitive, man. I'm telling you. I see it flares up on me. I'm sorry, but anyhow, and so. But that's the thing with our school, in that we have a 400-acre working farm on campus, and that's what and every time Gabriela talks about that, she mentions the farm, but it's like you can't, and it's in our name. We're Alvin C. Agricultural Institute. That's why she can't say much without alluding back to the farm, because it is that big of a deal. It's agriculture's largest program of study we have at the school. So, and that was Sergeant York's intention when he founded the school. It was Alvin C. York Agricultural Institute, and when he had gone to World War I, he had no formal education because there was not a high school in Fentress County. So he goes over there and he's seeing things like the Eiffel Tower and Notre Dame Cathedral. He didn't even know they existed. He hadn't even seen pictures of them.
Right.
And could you imagine seeing something like that for the first time, coming from the mountain, a rural, undeveloped area in Tennessee and Appalachia, and then you're standing there gazing upon the Eiffel Tower
on the world stage.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
And just the things he saw, and he came back and he was like, I don't want any young person who follows me to not have these, to be limited, have the limited opportunities I had, was speaking for him, as him there. But anyhow, so that's why he founded the school, and he did not want to be remembered as a war hero. Sergeant York was opposed to killing, due to his faith, and he was very, just had a hard time dealing with that. And his grandson, Colonel Gerald York, told me that even on his deathbed, that was something he was still reconciling in his mind, that, would God forgive him for it, and so he did not want to be known as a war hero. He wanted to be known as an advocate for education, for young people and for rural transportation, because a lot of people don't realize, he actually was the commissioner of transportation, in the 40s.
Okay.
In Tennessee. So those were things, and it was for developing, because he realized if we can develop, good roads into rural areas like Jamestown, Tennessee, that roads are economic drivers.
Yeah.
And so, and he had a vision for that, long before, now we understand that, and it's just like secondhand knowledge. Well, he was actually a visionary in that idea,
right.
Whenever he was commissioner. So that's a little bit about him, but I mean, how do you put a man's impact that's such as his and his legacy into a 28-minute podcast? So we could do a whole story on him. So, but yeah, that's kind of a little bit of how our school, how it was founded, why it was founded, and how we became part of the Tennessee Department of Education.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's very cool, unique, and cool story, and the fact that the impact that you're making on these kids in this county, and the ability to even gain an associate's degree in high school.
Oh,
You were
yes.
mentioning that earlier.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
They're moving into college, and they're
juniors.
halfway there.
Yeah, really.
Absolutely. Literally halfway there. Yeah, we started that with our partner school is Roan State Community College.
Yeah.
You know, and I think they're headquartered in Harriman over in Roan County.
Yep.
And they have, man, I can't say enough. You know, Dr. Diane Ward, she's vice president, and she's a real partner with us. And so our students, and we do middle college different than everyone else. And again, middle college, just so everybody understands, students actually earn their associate's degree while they're in high school. Hey, only in America can you graduate college 2 weeks before you graduate high school. We're doing it. That's what we do on the mountain, baby. You know, that's flipping the script. But anyhow, so yeah, but they do that, and then it just gives them such, you know, a head start. But we've done that, and we have the second largest cohort in the Upper Cumberland with Roan State, and we're one of the smallest schools in their footprint. Again, that's just the quality of students that we have. We have about 100 students in a class, and our first cohort had 13 kids in it. So
wow.
and so it's just like Oak Ridge High School had one more graduate than we did. And they're 2.5 times our size. So yeah, but what I was saying about we do it a little different is ours is all on campus. So our students are able to, you know, come to school and still be athletes.
Yeah.
And have fourth block, whatever their sport is. And then we pay for their books. So it's literally no cost. There's no transportation hurdles, no financial hurdle in books. And the middle college grant, what it doesn't take care of, the school picks up for the kids. So only thing they got put into it is sweat equity, a little elbow grease, and their time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Very cool, providing great opportunities for these kids.
Sure enough.
I'm sure we could talk more and more. You spoke about athletics, you got about every sport other than lacrosse, and you're looking towards the future to have archery and shooting and other things like that.
Absolutely.
Outdoor sports.
Yeah, archery, trap, and we also want bass fishing. We've had it before, and you know, I won't get into why we don't have it anymore, but we're going to get it back, you know, because that's 3 more opportunities. Those aren't TSSAA sanctioned sports, but man, that's a big deal up here.
Yeah.
Life
here
skills
on the plateau. Yes,
you know, life skills you can carry out and
Absolutely.
do from here on.
Oh, one cool thing I got to tell you before we get going, you know, is we've got this coming up. So our next project is the Thanksgiving turkeys.
Yes.
So we also raise turkeys from day-old chicks. And then the students, they raise them free range. All right, and then on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, the kids process them.
Oh, wow. Hands
So
on.
fresh, free range, never frozen turkeys for Thanksgiving. Whole Foods, that's going to cost you about $150. We got them for a steal, folks, for $60. Email us and we'll get you on the list.
You heard it right here, folks. Get you a turkey for Thanksgiving. Hey, this has been a great episode. Thank you guys for being on. Thank you guys out there for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time.
Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org. And follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram. You can invest in Tennessee's wildlife future by purchasing a license at GoOutdoorsTennessee.com. That's GoOutdoorsTennessee.com.